Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Anne's Wellness Reset. I've been thinking a lot about menopause recently, not because I just happen to be going through it. I went through the hot flashes, the night sweats, and the mood swings years ago. In fact, for a very long time, I thought menopause was behind me. But over the last few months, I've learned some things that honestly surprised me. You see, I served in the military for 30 years, and menopause wasn't exactly something we talked about. I was working, raising a family, trying to keep everything together. And like many women of my generation, I just simply pushed through it all. Looking back, there are 5 things I really wish someone had told me. Number 1, menopause doesn't end when the hot flashes stop. For years, I thought menopause was a phase. You have the symptoms, you get through them, then you're done. At least that's what I thought. The hot flashes eventually stopped. The night sweats, as uncomfortable as they were, eventually stopped, and the mood swings improved. So I assumed menopause was behind me. What I didn't realize is that the effects of lower estrogen can continue long after those symptoms disappear. I recently learned that low estrogen may affect sleep, stress recovery, and overall well-being years after menopause. That was a big surprise to me. Number 2, muscle loss is real. Nobody told me how important muscle would become after menopause. As estrogen declines, women lose muscle much more quickly. And muscle isn't just about appearance. It's about strength, balance, mobility, independence, metabolism. When I retired a few years ago and started strength training in my home gym, I had no idea how important it would become. Looking back, I wish someone had explained that preserving muscle after menopause isn't optional. It's one of the best investments we can make in our future health. Number 3, bone loss happens quietly. The thing about bone loss is that you don't feel it happening. You don't wake up one day and notice you've lost bone density. It happens slowly and quietly over time. That's why osteoporosis is often called a silent disease. I wish someone had talked about it. I wish someone had talked more about resistance training, protein, calcium, vitamin D, vitamin K2, bone health, long before it became a concern. Because prevention is much easier than trying to rebuild bone later. Number 4, estrogen affects far more than I realized. What I didn't realize was that estrogen also influences things like sleep, stress regulation, skin health, collagen production, and even joint comfort. In fact, over the past few weeks, I've been experiencing some pain in my left hip. Now, I'm not saying menopause is necessarily the cause. There are many reasons someone can develop hip pain. But I was surprised to learn that some women experience increased joint stiffness and discomfort during and after menopause, which may be related to change in estrogen levels. What I've personally found helpful is movement. Interestingly, the worst thing for my hip seems to be sitting for too long. What helps the most is staying active. So I regularly do HIIT workouts on my elliptical, followed by yoga with a focus on my lower back and hips. I find that when I keep moving, my hip feels much better. It's another example of how many things I never connected to menopause until I started learning more. Another thing I learned is that collagen production naturally declines as estrogen levels decline. Like many women, of course, I've noticed changes in my skin over the years, and honestly thought it was just simply aging. But I didn't know it was actually linked to lower estrogen levels, that estrogen plays a key role in supporting collagen production throughout the body. And that's one of the reasons I've chosen to add collagen peptides to my daily smoothie. I also add high hyaluronic acid, which I've been using as part of my approach to supporting skin health, for a number of years. Whether those choices are making a difference, I can't say for certain, but they're part of the things I'm doing as I learn more about healthy aging and taking care of my body after menopause. Number 5, we have more options than we used to. This final point is probably the most important. When I was going through menopause, I didn't know much about my options. I knew very little about hormone therapy. I certainly didn't understand the potential benefits and risks. And honestly, I didn't ask many questions. Today, women have access to more information than ever before. It doesn't mean that every woman should choose the same path. It doesn't mean HRT is right for everyone. But it does mean we have options, we have conversations, we have research, and because of the research, our options medically have advanced tremendously. And we have healthcare providers who are continuing to learn more. And perhaps more importantly, we're finally talking about menopause. I encourage all women to have a conversation with their doctor about their options. If there's one thing I've learned, it's this. Menopause isn't a disease. It's a normal stage of life. But normal doesn't mean we shouldn't understand it and that we shouldn't try and do something to manage the symptoms. Looking back, I wish someone had told me about the muscle loss. I wish someone had told me about the bone loss, the sleep changes, the effects on skin and joints, and the options available to help women navigate this stage of life. Maybe we can't change what we didn't know years ago, but we could certainly learn more now. And we can help the next generation of women be better prepared than we were. I'd love to hear from you. What do you wish someone had told you about menopause? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.